what we're trying to do, or what we must do, is we've got to make sure that our view of the world becomes center stage. At the moment, it's the SARU narrative, and they're setting the scene for what the discussion is and the evaluation. So when we're putting out a set of conditions that they must comply with, we're already in the game. When there's an announcement on Friday, we'll be asked about what do we think about the team. There's a march on Friday taking place to SARU's offices in Durbanville, is it? Out that way. We'll join that, and we'll say that we're here to support that. And depending, we're going to communicate that because we've got your contact details. But this is part of the point that's being made, that we've got to unite all the people that feel similar. Now that in itself is a process, but we're at least in the game, and we're starting to shape the agenda, and we're starting to get organized. Because for more people out there to talk about it, they've got to see a coherent message coming out from us, and that's starting to happen across the areas that you are raising. So it's not ideal, but I think we're in a position where we can take it forward, Chair. Our approach towards the matter is that the transformation plan has failed. Even this latest one that's on the table, we don't know the details of what was signed between the minister and the leadership of SARU, because that's never been made public to us. So we think that that's got to be a more public process, so that the rugby-loving community knows exactly what's going on. Because these cozy political deals has not helped rugby. That's the reality of it. As soon as our people are in there, I'm afraid, and they get the big checks, then they forget about what they meant to serve. And so that's something we've got to deal with. The timing of the meeting is we want to influence both the team that goes to the World Cup. We're unapologetic about that. We want transformation to start now. It's already starting too late. But we also, in the declaration, talk about the post-World Cup process to deal with many of the longer-term issues that have come out. And then the issue about why it's been raised so late. I'm sure that from the side of the black sports, we all thought that we had a common purpose and a shared sense of values with the white establishment in rugby. And so people give that a chance. Everybody hoped that that would work. And you had your ups and downs, you had your change of people, and there was always reasons given for why it's not moving fast enough. But now there can be no more reasons that can justify, especially in the last few months when we saw how they manipulated the selection process to sideline players, to make place for others, that clearly just advanced the agenda. So when you talk about what does the young players look forward to, the young players see this reality happening in rugby. They were also keen, hoping that there's a future for them, but they see it's not being realized, that it's all just a scam, that when you get to the top levels where the real money is, the old boys club still controls it. And so the young players are not fooled by that anymore. Nobody's fooled and nobody's patient anymore to give that a chance. We want a radical program, and it must be a public process that everybody's part of defining, because clearly it's not enough that the leadership of the sport is consulted, because the leadership of the sport has lost their way. I can just add to the people who are here, I spoke to Thurlow Wakefield yesterday, and he said that he couldn't come, but he was sending one of their people who deals with transformation to come and explain their transformation model and their commitment to it. And I'm amazed to see this letter, which essentially says that they're not going to associate with this meeting and trying to send a bad signal to the unions. So even him, who's one of the more progressive amongst the different heads of the different provinces, is clearly nowhere where we'd want him to be in respect of what he should be saying and doing for rugby.